back again. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to hear me, but I'm out driving today, and I am getting that urge again to kind of like share some of these downloads that are coming to me. So it's raining here, and I'm just cruising, trying to take it slow. Figure it'd be a good time to just share some thoughts, get some thoughts out. So this is basically just gonna kind of be like almost a rant. I might even start doing live videos for this, but it's gonna be just kind of like me going off of whatever I can channel out and some of these thoughts that have been coming to me. I notice that I'll have these really like insightful thoughts, and if I don't act on them right when they come to me, then I lose them, right? So I'm getting like a lot of these right now as I'm driving. I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to take an opportunity to kind of like put some of this down. So one thing that was coming to me was the idea of this planet that we're on, all planets, right, being alive and conscious. And in that consciousness, there is an awareness. So, for instance, let's say the Earth is aware of everything on it and within it, right? Including us. It's aware of our human existence and what we do to the Earth. And I can equate this to a few things, like the movie The Happening. Not the best movie, but the concept, as far as like Earth activating or plants activating this defense mechanism to start to kill off humanity. It's almost like Earth has activated its conscious defense system, and now we are in this spiritual battle on the Earth between not only ourselves but the elements. And that's why we see so much chaos in like the weather, and we talk about global warming and how we are polarized and fighting against each other, because this spirit has been activated in us so that we can separate the wheat from the chaff, right? Or like so that we can find balance in our polarization. Not again, like not saying that, because I kind of went over this in my previous video, but like there's not really good or bad, but separating so that we have balance, so that the Earth can get what it needs, right? And the Earth may have decided that, okay, what I need more people that are more in tune with nature, so that we can start to deconstruct some of this overbuilt society that's based heavily on technology and mechanics and the machine. And I want to get more into the concept of the machine and what we've actually created here without being fully aware of it. But if Earth has decided that, then we start to see like the spiritual battle between those people that want to separate and be more in tune with nature, and then build architecture and systems that are more beneficial to nature, as opposed to people that want to build systems that are more harmful for the Earth, right? And so that brings me to the concept of the machine. So over these decades, even centuries, this spirit has been here for all time, right? And in spirit, there's that constant duality. So you have spirit and you have like demonic energy, right? That's what I'm going to refer to it as until I can channel something that makes more sense. But let's say spirit and demonic energy, you can call it the devil, you can call it Satan, you can call it whatever if you want to, but it is that opposition to the light. It is yin and yang, it is darkness and light, right? And in that, you have nature, so that's that earthly consciousness, that natural organic consciousness that is in everything throughout the universe. And then you have that darkness that is also in everything throughout the universe, but it operates in a different way, which again, I'm getting there, but brings me back to the machine. So the machine, it is a conscious system that we have created. AI, artificial intelligence, is simply this physical manifestation for our comprehension of the consciousness of the machine. The machine is already conscious. It doesn't need artificial intelligence because we are its intelligence, right? But now we're giving it a face, we're giving it a name, and that's why you feel like there's this wave of artificial intelligence. So the machine is based off of principles like greed, desire, temptation, destruction, chaos, right? And we get things from that like mass murdering animals for consumption, like drive having vehicles that pollute the planet, creating systems and machines that pollute the planet, deforestation for our own means and our own needs. And I myself, like, I'm guilty of this as well, but that's why we are having this spiritual awakening, is because we had to go through living in the machine and building the machine and being a part of that machine for us to even comprehend the negativity of it and what it's actually doing. So if we look at it on a quantum scale, right, you think about it in terms of like the butterfly effect or quantum entanglement. So whatever we do here on this planet is going to have an equal and greater reaction, an equal or greater reaction elsewhere in the universe, right? So this is kind of like our training ground to learn that those actions that promote the machine are not beneficial for the universe, right? So Earth is kind of like our opportunity to learn and get things right. And in that, okay, let's see if I can fix this. Alright. Okay. So, let's switch gears here a little bit. But, as far as that goes, basically I'm just trying to say that the machine has its own consciousness, and it is essentially the darkness to our light. And we have gone through this period of enhancing that darkness, and now I feel that on a spiritual level, as a collective, we are going through a period of enlightenment so that we can return to that balance and return to the light, right? And in that, there's so many other things that I could break down when we talk about like the concept of the machine. So for instance, one of the downloads I was getting was like children and future generations and our generation, right? Generations before us. So we are in a system, I'm not sure what the system is called. We're in a system that indoctrinates us from the start. Or like, how can I explain this? We're in a system that indoctrinates us to believe in it and to obey it and to abide by it, right? So what we do, and what I realize is like what we do, is we take our children, and follow me because this is going to become like a little bit of a difficult thought for me to break down. But we put our children in school, right? And in school, they are taught this standardized education to think like everyone else. And not only to think like their peers and the people in their age group, but to think like everyone before them. So the people teaching them have been indoctrinated by past generations, and the people teaching them were indoctrinated by past generations. This puts us in a situation where future generations are not coming in, or at least not able to give us new information and perspective, because we are watering down their spirit with what is already here in the physical reality. So if I were to allow my children to not go to school and to not receive that indoctrination, I could raise my children to operate under their own rules, to operate within their own reality, and to create a reality. That will give them the freedom to change this physical reality more quickly than we are able to do, because we have to spend 20, 30 years going through indoctrination and then a process of removing that indoctrination and whatever trauma or whatever understandings we have come out of that with, in order to actually have true understanding and enlightenment. So if we were to allow our children to come into this reality, right, from the spiritual realm, they already come into this reality with downloads and with information for us, so that they are the new, right? We're taking the new and telling them, no, you need to be like the old. If we were to take the new and listen to them and take guidance from our children, we could advance our society that much faster. But instead, we program them to be like us, and not only like us, but those that were before us. So we keep doing the same thing, right? So, alright, I'm going to take this as a sign to just kind of slow down and break this thought apart a little better. Alright, so that comes to also like present generation. So our current experience. Our current experience is suffering from those same ideologies, like that same perspective of we came in as new, with new understanding and with new perspective, but we were indoctrinated and we were sent through a system that told us to remove those ideas, right? To abandon that imagination, and instead that we needed to serve this system and to obey this system that was here before us, right? But we are spiritual beings. Like we are, I can't even get into that in this video, but we are spiritual beings. So when we come here, we know everything we need to know. We already know everything we need to know. But then we're taught that what we know is wrong. And we go through life having to learn all this stuff about the physical dimension, the physical reality, when we're spiritual beings. And that's why a lot of us feel so out of touch with society and out of touch with reality, and we can't really get comfortable, and we can't really find a place or like find meaning in this experience because we're looking at it through the wrong lens. Right? So it takes time to abandon that indoctrination and to realize that in reality, this is almost becoming, and again, that goes back to like the darkness and the light. And when we're coming into what I believe and what I hope for humanity is that we are coming into a period and a stage of understanding that will allow us to escape this darkness and to escape what reality is becoming, or society, I should say. Because there are places on earth that this isn't happening, but as a human collective, we are all kind of experiencing an aspect of it. Because again, it's that quantum entanglement. It's that all-encompassing, like almost a butterfly effect. Like, so what happens here in one place is still going to have an effect there. So spirit, yin and yang, it's all taking place on the earth, but instead, or yin and yang, but it's all taking place on the earth. So instead of like it being fully dark here, fully light there, it's just kind of like all trying to find balance, right? But what we have to realize is that it's almost becoming a prison, depending on how you feel in your culture and in your society. Because what's happening is we are being told to obey something that goes against our spirituality, that goes against what we truly are. We're being told to do things that are harmful not only to the earth but to us, right? And this is probably the main point of this video. It's like, in a way, we are selling, if not have already sold, our souls to this physical reality, because we are now in a place where we're taking careers that literally have a risk of giving us cancer. We are pursuing, the best way to put this is that we pursue money, right? This paper, these numbers on a screen, from this physical reality that have no, like, money can't change me spiritually. Money can't do anything for you spiritually. If you are out of alignment spiritually, you can be a billionaire and still be out of alignment and unhappy and suicidal and depressed and barred down by all types of negative energies. Or you can be broke, penniless, but aligned spiritually and happy and fulfilled, right? So, we're choosing money, which is kind of like a symptom of selling our souls for this reality. And in doing so, we put ourselves in a position where we are, we're just doing things for money, basically, right? And in doing that, we cut ourselves off to spirit. We cut ourselves off to enlightenment, freedom. And I am experiencing that myself, because what I'm noticing as I'm kind of having this like enlightening journey is like spirit is telling me to do things that I think are absolutely crazy, but they're not even crazy in the sense of like, oh, that's out of your mind type stuff. But like stuff like, why, it just challenging my way of thinking. Like, why pay rent for a place? Okay, let me give you one, right? So I've been trying to save up money, and like I've been harassing myself and beating myself up with the concept of like retirement. I need to make sure I got my 401k in check, my Roth IRA, my stocks, my like whatever investments, right? Crypto, whatever I can get my hands on, so that I know in 30, 35 years I can retire, right? I can like stop, and I can stop serving the workforce, right? Which I can get into later, because it's like you have the Air Force, right? Army, like the military force, and then you have the workforce. So aren't we still just serving the same machine? But anyway, so eventually I can retire and stop serving the workforce, and I'll be financially secure. Okay, so the system has indoctrinated me to believe that the universe will not provide for me naturally, right? So I came here as a spirit. The universe has always provided for me everything I will ever need without question. But I've been indoctrinated by a system. We have been, if you're still living by these same rules, to believe that that the universe will not provide for us, and that we need to spend our existence and experience here as humans working in this system to provide for ourselves for the rest of our lives, right? And I could get into how you save in your 401k, you put all this money into the market. These giant corporations and private bankers own this, they own the institutions that we utilize to invest, right? And then they also have the means to go and to play the system and to cause these cyclical crashes, which then take all of the value that we've gained over this 20, 30 year period and crash it to a percentage of what it was, and then I'm supposed to retire on that while you walk away with the money that I had put in. Okay? So the system, the machine, has created a way to fool us into thinking that my spiritual self, my higher self, the universe, spirit, will not provide for me. I need to get out here every single day of my spiritual human temporary existence and serve this machine, or I will end up without the means to provide for myself. I will end up without, right? There is no such thing as without. The universe will constantly provide for us anything and everything we need. I would even challenge you to put yourself into like a different perspective or state of mind, right? And start to be like, okay, yeah, I want this. Yeah, I feel like I can't afford this, or like I feel like this is out of the way, right? So I'm challenging you to kind of listen to your inner voice, listen to spirit. And when you hear that, okay, yeah, you want it, but you can't afford it, or like, yeah, you want it, I don't know, whatever it is that you feel like you want in this life, but it's not coming to you, I challenge you to let go and to release that desire. And in releasing that desire, I believe that you will come to find that you were fulfilled anyway, right? So let go, let me say it this way. Let go of any desires that you have based in monetary gain. Any desires that you have based on like, oh, my money, my money, my money, my money, right? And allow spirit to guide you. And then when spirit tells you, okay, let go, right? Open your mind up to whatever it's telling you to do. Take that opportunity. And I'm certain that you will be fulfilled without the stress and the worry of money. So I'm coming to a place, getting back on what I was trying to get across, is like, I'm coming to a place where I've been working and working and working and trying to save for retirement, getting my money right and everything else. But I still noticed that like, there's a lot of pitfalls out here, right? Because I'm essentially telling spirit, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to what I was taught. I'm going to listen to what I was indoctrinated to do, which is to serve the system. And I need to constantly make sure I maintain a job. I need to constantly make sure that while I'm here for a temporary time, my existence here as this physical human is finite. Yet this paper, these digital numbers we put on the screen are infinite, okay? But I'm going to use my finite time in pursuit of something that is infinite and in abundance, right? I'm using all of my time to try to pursue and to clutch, grab something that is infinite, that is man-made. When I could release that, and the universe would provide for me everything that I need. So for instance, I took my trip and I went to Finland, Thailand, the Philippines, and beforehand, I was in a very stressed out state of mind. I was thinking, I cannot afford this, right? How is this going to affect me in the future? How is this going to affect my plans for retirement, right? So I to listen to Spirit in the now because the system has told me to be afraid of then. The system has told me that I need to be afraid of when I'm 65. I can't even perceive what I'm going to be doing when I'm 65, if I even live that long, right? If I even live long enough to get to that age. But I'm in fear of 30 years from now. How can I listen to Spirit? How can I be aligned with my present? Right? Because I'm afraid of 30 years from now. So I've got to work for 30 years in a fear mindset for the next 30 years. Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. And that's what they got us doing, right? That's what the system has us doing, the machine. And so I was stressed out at the time. I'm like, man, I can't afford this. But I've got Spirit, I've got this voice in my head telling me that the next move for me, for completeness, wholeness, to uplift my mood and my spirit, to reassure myself that I can do anything and that I have the power to be, and that I have the power to be my own God and to serve nothing other than myself. And through that, I can be a blessing and a light and a leader to others, right? The only way for me to truly understand that was to go to Thailand, was to take this trip. So Spirit's bugging me, hounding me. I'm hearing this over and over again in my head, and I'm fighting it. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, financially, I cannot do it, right? Again, I'm basing my beliefs of what I can do as a spiritual, limitless being in money, in something man-made, okay? So it comes down to a day that I'm just like, funny enough, I was talking to my brother, and just out of serendipity, just out of coincidence, my brother says to me, well, if you had infinite money, we were talking about something completely random. He was like, if you had infinite money, what would you do? And I was like, I'd travel, right? And I started thinking about it after that, and I was like, well, money is infinite. It's numbers on a screen, right? It's paper. And I'll probably talk about that more. Like, there was even a lawsuit where a man won the case because his lawyer was able to prove that the bank didn't have any physical, actual, investment in his house. They just created the numbers on a ledger and then said that they gave him the loan to buy the house. But really, they just created numbers on a screen while he has a physical asset in this reality, and then they wanted to foreclose on it or repossess it. So the lawyer was able to prove that, and he was able to get it, keep his house. And so I guess, my point there is that money is man-made. Money is infinite because it's a concept. It's a concept, it's not a real thing. And so I was basing all of my belief on what I could do in that concept. And it came down to that day, I'm talking to my brother, he says that, I get this ring in my head, it's like, well, damn, wait a minute. The money's always going to be there, right? I can always get a job, right? I can always, I got my LLCs, once I created my LLCs, I realized this now, is I pretty much certified and confirmed for myself that I will always have income. I will always be able to provide for myself because no matter what happens, I just run my businesses and I'm good to go, right? I can end up broken on the street and I just get to work and I'm right back where I was, right? But they keep us in this fear mindset, and that's why they keep us in that mindset, because you got to be afraid for the next 30 years. Otherwise, you realize, well, wait a minute, I'm going to take this year off. I'm going to take this year off and go see something, go travel, go have a spiritual experience. And then I'll come back to this whole workforce, this whole machine system later, right? Because it's not going anywhere. They'll always pay you to get back in the game. But they're always going to scare you to not leave it. Make you afraid to not leave it. So anyway, I end up just deciding to book the ticket. I'm like, okay, you know what? I got the money. I just didn't want to spend it, right? And that's funny, the universe will give us blessings and then tell us what to do with those blessings so that it can bless us more. But because we're in fear and we're operating on a lower vibrational mindset and state of mind, state of being, state of spirit, we'll ignore what the universe is telling us. So the universe or spirit will come to me, it'll give me a blessing, it'll give me that financial blessing or whatever it is, right? Fill up my bank account and then say, okay, spend it all on this. And because I'm in a fear mindset, right? Or we're in a fear mindset, you're like, oh, wait a minute, spirit, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, wait a minute. I appreciate the blessing, but I'm not spending this money. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for giving it to me, but it's mine now. I'm holding on to it, right? And then what happens when you hold on to it, you clutch it. I noticed this in my experiences. I'll be clutching the hell out of a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Get a few $1,000s. Oh, no, I can't spend that. And then what does Spirit do? Spirit takes it. The universe takes it. Because you're holding on to something that was a gift from the divine anyway, and you holding on to it like it's yours. You're like, no, I can't spend that. And the Spirit's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to go bless somebody else with it here. So then you run into problem after problem after problem after problem. You're like, well, damn, Spirit gave me all this money. I was blessed a minute ago, now I'm broke. Why am I broke? Right? And it'll run you through the same cycles. Now you got to go back to that job you didn't like. Now you got to go back and do all them things that you had to do to get to where I sent you, right? Because I wanted you to be blessed so that I can elevate your spirit, I can elevate your state of mind. But instead, you wanted to clutch where you basically plateaued. So Spirit trying to get you up here, and you settled for right here. You're like, no, this is safe, I'm good. Let me hold on to my few dollars, I'm cool, right? Spirit's like, no, I'm gonna knock you back down. You start over. Because when you get back to that point, you're gonna realize, okay, that was stressful, right? I don't want to do this again, so let me listen. And then Spirit will elevate you even higher. So I booked a trip to Thailand. I booked my ticket. And for the next few days, weeks probably, I was just sitting there like, what the hell did I do? Right? What the hell did I do? And it's just so funny how the universe operates, because it'll put you in positions it'll only put you in positions it knows you can handle. So I booked the ticket. A couple weeks later, I'm like, nah, wait a minute, I done messed up. No, I'm tripping. I've never been out the country. I don't know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I need to cancel this flight. Let me cancel it. I'll get my money back. Let me cancel this flight. So I go out and try to cancel my flight. Nope, non-refundable. Can't cancel it. Sorry. All right, cool. So Spirit gave me that push. So, okay, show me you ready, right? Step off. Like, take that first step toward me. Show me you ready. And I got you. So Spirit locked me in. I took that first step. I booked my ticket. When the fear came back, and my mind state went to a lower vibrational place, the Spirit already had me locked in. I was like, nope. Because it knew that I would do that, right? It knew that I was going to come back and try to change my mind. And it was like, no, too late. You showed me that truly, innately, is who you are as a being. You want this experience. You want to change what you're doing. And I'm not going to let fear interfere with that now that I know what your true desires are. So it locked me in. So comes, let me see, I think it took a month. I booked like 2 months in advance. So 2 months go by, whole time, I'm doing my thing, earning a little bit of money. This is where it gets really funny, is because I was trying to figure out how much money I was gonna take with me. And I started thinking, again, in fear, I'm like, man, I'm not gonna have enough money. What if I run out of money while I'm there? So on and so forth. So I'm going around, I got my little lawn care business, I'm cutting grass and doing all this, and people just started hiring me. People just started hiring me like crazy, right? So I ended up with specifically $1,800 cash that I was just putting away. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just hold on to this. This will be my spending money, whatever I end up with by the time it's time to go. And so I think I got to like maybe 2 weeks before it was time to go, and I might have only had like $800 or something. I didn't have much as far as spending money goes. My rooms were booked and everything. Like, everything was already booked. I had gone through, booked out my rooms and everything. So I would have been all right, but I was still in fear. So that 2 weeks comes, and right before it was time to go, I just started getting job after job after job, and I just easily racked up like a whole nother couple grand. I threw $1,000 into my little travel money. I had $1,800. I'm ready to go, right? Everything else is booked. So come to find out, after my trip and everything, I didn't even spend all the money. I only spent a portion of the money, because I got over there and everything is so much cheaper and the food is so much healthier. I found myself only eating once or twice a day because I was so fulfilled by the meals, right? Instead of being over here where I gotta snack and eat every 5 minutes because whatever the fuck is in this food, excuse my language, is just not fulfilling the body. It's not fulfilling my spiritual form, right? It's not fulfilling any aspect of my being. And yet I keep eating it, which is a whole nother thing. But anyway, so I get over there and I'm fulfilled, I'm happy, I'm not even, and this goes back to the whole concept I'm trying to get across as far as like abandoning this machine and letting it go and trusting more in spirit. Spirit gets me to the other side of the planet. I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know anything about the culture or anything. It gets me there and then proceeds to protect me, guide me, and provide for me, right? I had the best time of my life. I barely spent any money, and I was still fulfilled. I was still happy. I was still having experiences that I couldn't even imagine having, right? I was meeting people that, like that, I would be able to develop a connection with, whereas opposed to being in a place in the United States, for instance, right, where we are supposed to be the country of union, the country of togetherness and unity, but we're some of the most divided, polarized people that there are on the planet. So I go to a country that doesn't even have all the amenities and all the comforts that we have as Americans, right? You would consider them like a developing nation, and they got more love in their hearts than any of us got. And I'm walking around, I barely speak the language, I know a little bit here and there, but they welcoming me with open arms, treating me with love, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. And it's just like, I would find myself in situations where I'd be like, oh damn, I didn't do such and such, I'm not gonna, you know, like something bad is about to happen, like I'd forget something, or I wouldn't know that I needed to do something prior, and like get a permit or whatever, and I'd be in this, I get right back in my fear, and I'm like, okay, you know, this ain't gonna work out, this ain't gonna work out. Well, Spirit is telling me, go, let go, just go, right? Do it anyway. And I go, and then I'll run into whoever, you know, the gatekeeper or whatever, and they're like, oh no, don't worry about it, you're good, come on, it's okay, don't worry about it. And I'm like, what? I spent the last 3-4 hours worried about this. I spent half the day tripping over this. And you're like, it's okay? Oh, all right. And so what I realized is that, like, even that trip in and of itself was Spirit guiding me and showing me and putting me, and this is like what I'm really going to try to get across in my videos from now. It's like Spirit will put you in difficult situations only to show you that it's going to bring you out regardless, right? It's all to build faith, okay? I'm out in a foreign country, I'm riding a motorcycle I've never been on. Any kind of thing could have went wrong, mechanical errors, anything like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Traffic is crazy, you're driving on the other side of the road, and the whole time I'm just blessed. I'm in a whole different state of being, right? I'm going with the flow because the universe is guiding me and is providing for me and is keeping me safe, right? Keeping me safe and sound, you know what I'm saying? Sound in my mind. So I end up just like really enjoying my trip, and even on the way back, I was delayed at the airport, and I'm running around this airport trying to find my flight. And the whole time I'm honestly not even tripping, because after the trip, I already know I got my faith on lock. I know that whatever happens, right, as I'm taking my steps, anything that goes wrong, there's no such thing as a setback. It's the universe setting me aside so that I can avoid whatever mishaps are on that path. So the universe is just gently guiding me over here. It's like, okay, I'm gonna keep you safe from that, and from that, and from that. And I'm gonna get you there anyway, right? And this is what I'm trying to get across, right? And so at the airport, I'm missing my flight. I can't find my flight. Every time I look at the ticket or whatever, it's telling me this gate. Then I get to that gate, they're like, no, it's moved to this gate. It's moved to that gate. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is crazy. So I end up chilling. I go back to the line. I'm like, damn, I must have missed it. You know what I'm saying? I get in line to get a new ticket. And she's like, no, it's that gate over there. So I wait in line for like 20 minutes, meet a couple people. So that was cool, whatever. Got to talk to some new people. I get out the line. I go, and I kind of start feeling a little negative. I noticed, because I'm like, well, damn, I already been over there. You know what I'm saying? It's not at that gate. So I go to that gate. It's still not there. And when I'm walking back or whatever, and I come to the gate, and I'm like, well, damn, that looked like that's the flight, right? And it's on a whole nother gate. I have no idea why I was moving around so much, whatever. But I get there, and it's on a whole nother gate. And the flight attendants or whatever are just standing there. Nobody in line, nothing. And they're like, oh, hey, are you trying to board? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, it's final call. Like, you can board. No line, nothing. I just get to, like, walk on the plane, get there, get in my seat and everything. Chilling. And it's just funny to me, because that was like an hour after I thought the flight had taken off. And so it just goes to say that, like, the universe is constantly putting you where you need to be, right? Like, who knows what would have happened if I had gotten there earlier, gotten there on time. I could have ran into a whole couple of things, you know what I'm saying? But the universe is always putting us where we need to be so that we can have the experience we need to have in order to, one, build faith and build trust in spirit, right? But two, to also keep us safe and to keep us in that divine time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been going off, I try to get a couple thoughts across, mainly just like living in this system, you got to kind of start to elevate your way of thinking and start to get back into your imagination, start to get back into your spirit, start to get back into the understanding that this is a game, that this money and everything that got us running around here making, we have each other running around here making, right? It's a game. You know what I'm saying? And we don't get that. And what ends up happening is, instead of operating in spirit and being able to fulfill ourselves and being happy, we are operating on that lower vibration, and we taking what's given to us. So we end up with a wife or a husband that we're not really happy with, in a house we don't like, with kids that we don't really know why we had. You know what I'm saying? And then we raise them to carry out the same trauma. We are building the machine. That is how the machine is being built. So if we can walk away from that cyclical trauma, we can actually start to build something completely different on earth. Allow your children to innovate. Allow yourself to innovate. Allow yourself to be different from everybody else, right? You don't have to go down the path because somebody told you it's the path to go down. You don't have to spend 35 years in a career to wake up at 60 and be like, well, damn, I'm 60 now. Guess I get to go enjoy life. Why? Why not enjoy life for 30 years and then be broke at 60? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be broke for 30 years, having a good ass time on earth as a human. If I get to 65, God willing, I'll go get a job. You feel me? That's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. Right? If anything, we'd be smarter to wait it out for 30 years since we got AI and all these machines taking over. I'll come back at 65, get a job sitting on my ass watching the computer do everything. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's it though. I just want to encourage y'all to kind of like start to let go. Like, let go of all the assumptions and everything that you have in your mind. Nobody out here is out here to get you. There's nothing negative that's like trying to put you down in a lower place. If you encounter negativity that's trying to hold you down in a lower place, you're not listening to the spirit. You're not in the right alignment, because the spirit's not going to hold you down. You are holding yourself down, and then you create lines of thinking that hold you back, right? And you keep putting yourself in that state of mind. You keep running into people and situations that are going to keep you in that state of mind. So change up, switch up. I wish y'all the best. I'll talk to you soon.